pass. Back in winter, both teams beat BDS to reach the finals, and it came to a Game 7 overtime, which was won by Top Blokes, which prevented the bracket reset. So there is, as you say, Chiefs, some history between these teams.
It's going to be interesting to see who's able to deliver here in the semifinals, as Atomic will tip up for VK Salen, looking for Demensa, a bit of a stretch, and Casio, perhaps the player to watch. Him and Archie both having excellent spring split so far, being in the top 5 in score per game, and Archie as well, top 5 in assists per game. So we'll see if he can get the job done over on the offensive side.
Yeah, it's good to see Archie playing well again as well. Maybe it's the magic hat that he's wearing since putting that back on. He's been right back into form, and I think that the fact that Gibbs predicted Queso to win this one, I think that was heart over head. He is going for the chaos a little bit too much as opposed to what we've seen earlier, because the performance BDS put in against BDS, we're seeing shades of that here with their start in this one against Team Queso. They're having all the play, and in the end of that series against BDS, they really started to regain their control, which is something we haven't seen from Blokes in a while.
Ooh. Speaking of, a little loss of control there. Casio forced to try and fight for a ball at the midfield line. VK Salen into the middle. Demensa's going to need some help, as Flame going to tip that one out to safety. Atomic just trying to keep the pressure on, and everything should reset for just a moment here, as once more towards that back wall of Top Blokes.
Archie flicking everything along for Top Blokes, and now he's behind the ball waiting for Demensa's clearance. He takes an early shot. It's over the top of VK Salen. Archie is in such good form, and he gets us going in this game.
Yeah, very patient here from Archie, kind of just waiting to see where that clear went. Demensa unfortunately popped it right at him, and a surprising amount of power from that touch from Archie. He didn't even really flip into it, kind of just tapped up and hit it with the right part of the nose there, and had a little bit of a surprising force on it to beat the last man. And nice start for Top Blokes, despite looking a little scrappy on defense early on.
Yeah, that is very Archie, one of those players that makes things look effortless, glides around the pitch, setting up chances and getting goals, but this could be one for Atomic up against Flame and Archie. VK7 is there. A demo comes in from Demensa on Casio, and there's a little bit of defending to do for Top Blokes here. Archie's getting in the way of Flame, doesn't trust his teammate, and thankfully for them, Casio saves the day, at least for now. Demensa dunks, but just to the side.
Big triple commits there from Top Blokes. Gotta be careful, but they do get out of another jam. VK Salen on transition here. With Atomic's help, they might just get the bump. Casio just able to get over the top. Poked across from Demensa, but VK Salen one step behind it. Transition here for Top Blokes.
That is a fantastic save, actually, from Casio, because he had 2 Queso players charging down at him. It is so difficult to time jumping at the right moment and getting the ball to the side and avoiding the bump, and Casio did all of it.
And not done yet. Demensa pressure towards that goal. VK Salen off the wall and actually able to get the second block. Demensa one more time through the mix as Atomic trying to tip it down with it. Demensa's help. That one saved from Archie. Dismounting from the backboard. Casio out into the corner. Oh, so close for Team Queso, but they can't break him down.
Well, this is what Top Blokes did earlier on against BDS. The amount of times they thought they would have scored. Queso are falling into the same trap of believing surely any second Top Blokes are about to concede. It is just not happening. And you can see, Chiefs, how boost-starved Top Blokes must have been, because even with that gorgeous pass across the goal, there was no one there. They were just happy to still be in the lead with the Top Blokes.
And Demensa making a great defensive tip there to stop a shot from Archie and keep the deficit to 1. As Flame looking for Casio, and again, Demensa getting in the way of things, and he's just finding himself in all the right positions on defense, it would seem.
Yeah, he is. There's good clearance as well there from Atomic. Casio's underneath it. He's got VK Salen charging him down. The dunk game seems to be a particularly strong one for Queso right now, but Flame, look how quickly he's charging this one down, making VK Salen come again. Goes for a pass in the center, but it's a little bit high and looping, and Archie was equal to it, only as far as Atomic. Top Blokes still beating the ball away, and time just beginning to run out for Queso.
Yeah, if Top Blokes continue to find those big, strong clears down the pitch, it's really going to chop all the time off the clock. But here's a chance for Atomic, and again, Flame just able to get the nose on it. Weird dismount, but still gets the job done.
It's the second time as well where I'm pretty sure the player that came off the backboard wasn't intending to save that particular shot. Another couple of passes came in by the time they landed, and still somehow the Top Blokes goal is living a charmed life. But Queso will keep coming. Atomic is up for another dunk. It's going to fall to Demensa. He's got boost. He passes to Atomic. There's definitely a chance for a redirect here, but he hits the post again. Then the bump comes to nothing, and Archie can potentially launch a counter for the Top Blokes.
And you felt like that was going to be it. I mean, that angle, talk about cutting one down, and unfortunately, just off the post, Team Queso trying everything in the book. It would seem so many shots We've got what, 9 plus 7 is
16.
more than 15. Thank you.
That's our routine. That is why Archie is a team with Flame as well. That infield pass was a good one, but it was well saved by the Queso defense. Good position to be in for the top blokes with 10 seconds left. They were on the attack, and Flame's faked out by VK Salem. The Dementor's coming in to beat Archie. Archie finally misses, and with 6 seconds left, Queso have their equalizer.
Dementia just diving in this one. He knows the time is of the essence, and you're right, Archie couldn't find his way up to that one. I wonder if it was a mechanical mishap. He had so much boost in the tank, but maybe just side flipped right under it, and that gave Dementia the opening. 6 seconds on the clock.
I mean, to be fair to Archie, there was a fake among that. There were some weird touches. You can see why he was a bit freaked out, but still should have made the save. Makes up for it just before 0 seconds, and we do have overtime.
Well done, Archie. Scary game one overall for Top Blokes. Unfortunately, conceding the lead late. They're not done yet. Archie with a chance to pass one off the wall, and Cassio is going to be a couple steps too late. Will win the ball back in the midfield, and continuing to be a tough force to get by. Pass to Archie, and saved by Atomic. That was aimed wonderfully, but still able to get pulled aside.
It was such an awkward finish as well for Queso, behind all of them apart from Atomic, who just about managed to turn his wheels around quickly. The top blokes press continues. Great to see them playing like this again. It's why they're in such good form, playing with belief, but they have a lot of defending to do in this game after they took that lead. Overtime seems to have been the exact tonic they needed, but of course the stakes are always higher when it's next goal wins.
Trying to break out here. Archie just trying to get a little aggressive in the midfield. There hasn't been much play in the midfield in this game. It's kind of just been the long clear, hit it off the wall, and see if you can get something to stick. It's really not been a back and forth battle at the midfield line. It really has been make the saves and try not to get in each other's way. It's VK Salem keeping the pressure up here as this one's looking for Atomic. It's all the way across, and definitely too much power and too far away.
Yeah, Astral scored one like that earlier where he did a flip cancel. Atomic didn't quite have the angle to repeat the trick, but he'll be happy that his team whirring another attack into existence. VK Salem takes 2 touches that he gets. Oh no, it's another own goal. We've seen plenty this regional, and it's Archie.
An unforced one here to be sure. VK Salem, I think, wasn't even expecting to actually come up with the touch. It looks like Top Blokes thought that ball was going to get cleared, so they drive forward. It rolls right around and skips off the inside of the car into your own net. That's a rough way to go if you're Top Blokes. But to be honest, I mean, what are you going to say? You allowed, what, 22 shots there for Team Queso? So Top Blokes got to find a way to get out of their own half and stay there.
I'm glad you figured that one out, Chief. So I was looking at the 8, the 8, and the 6, and my brain was going, I can't figure this one out. What do I do? It was well played by Team Queso. They had the early goal go against them, and it became tough. Top Blokes were looking like they were in control. They were looking a little bit better, but they really grew into that first game.
And talk about having to make a bunch of great saves over on the Top Bloke side of things. Yeah, we give them a lot of flack, or at least I did, for having to make so many saves and allowing all that pressure, but that game easily could have been a runaway. The fact that they even kept it close and gave themselves a chance in overtime, and to be honest, it came down to a fluke, right? It's not like Team Queso even beat them. It's just sometimes 2 big mistakes. You know, Archie misses a clear at 0 seconds, and then you just get a missed clear off the backboard. So Team Queso, I think, despite holding a lot of pressure and putting a lot of shots on net, into gonna have to find a different approach on offense, because even with Top Blokes, you know, triple committing and jumping all over each other, they're able to keep them out.
That is an optimistic way of looking at it, Cheese, for Top Blokes. So, do you know what? You made loads of saves. I'm thinking that Queso will be feeling confident in this second game, but you're right. Top Blokes need to make sure that when they are in the ascendancy, they are taking their chances and not being penned back into their half. And that is a great start. Look at that assist from Flame, and Archie's there.
So smooth from Flame. Steals the ball in the midfield. They catch Demensa in a weird spot, but that dismount off the corner, just right above the ball, and no problem tipping it down into the middle. That was clean.
Great response then from the Top Blokes. And I am curious how they are going to take this one, having lost that first game. I feel like the play style they were showing here against Queso was the one we saw work so well for them earlier, where they were just defending. They were 3 men back, diving across their goal, using every ounce of boost that they had, and eventually getting this counter-attack. It worked for them earlier. It didn't work for them in this first game, so this is a very intriguing game for me, this second one.
And a couple of misses as well from a couple different players. Forces Atomic into the 1v1 on his own half. And again, Cassio just trying to jam things out into that blue corner. Archie with a helping hand, not able to find a couple of bumps, and a good transition here for Team Queso, but a couple of crucial seconds bought. VK Salen off the edge of the net. Demensa follow through, and it's got just enough to beat the defense.
I thought that Flame's demo on Atomic was enough to slow Team Queso down. You can see that pass went wayward, but in the end, Demensa couldn't believe his luck. All three top Blokes players underneath the ball, none of them could lay a touch, and it's 1-1.
It's kind of that look from top Blokes where they know last game they were jumping all over each other.
Yep.
So in that instance, they try and stay out of each other's way, and the kickoff doesn't help them either. 2-1 Team Queso.
Again, the momentum flips on a heartbeat. A brilliant kickoff there from VK Salen. Demensa is never going to miss that. Poor old Casio had gone to get boost. Suddenly, he had more defending to do than he thought he would. What a turnaround again for Team Queso.
I know. I don't know what to think of some of those Queso goals. Are really just, oh my gosh, it's a third one. It's like, what is going on?
Is this the semi-finals or is this the open qualifiers? I can't believe what I'm seeing. Kickoff goals are plenty. Achieves, everybody watching this has scored this exact goal and then flamed their teammates because what on earth were they doing?
Oh boy. I mean, you can't really doubt Flame there. He's definitely playing the block on the follow-through, but I think everyone just missed it. And yeah, that was not a good look for everybody on the pitch, but Team Queso, the ultimate benefactors. And now you got 3 minutes, 35 seconds or so to find two if you're top Blokes, but you're kind of starting to steam a little bit. I can get an angry pass for Archie, saved by Demensa.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you there, Achieves. There's definitely some work for their coach Rams to be in their ears, keeping them calm, making sure they're not doing anything silly because they're still very much in this second game. No chance they can't turn it around and win it, especially with the way this man is playing. Archie on the ball tries to set up Flame, realizes his touch was a little bit weak for his English teammates, so tried to follow it in. It comes down to another counter-attack here for Team Queso. Demensa's going to get this next touch. VK Salen is up. Archie onto the backboard does get the save. And it's a good transition from Flame. So top Blokes seem to have just taken a few seconds to calm things down and play a nice controlled style of Rocket League.
And I think that's the right approach as well. Take the time when you have it, especially when you got players like Flame, Archie, and Casio. Always have the ball control behind them to at least buy some extra time and maybe look for a better opportunity to make a press instead of trying to rush things. As Archie able to squeeze one through a couple people and gotta be in goal indeed. 2-3, they get one back.
Yeah, I don't quite know how that happened. There was a double commit from VK Salen and Demensa. And then Archie, I mean, he was styling on it. It looked beautiful from him with that alpha boost. But even if he hadn't scored it, I think that Flame or Casio were just waiting, going, I dare you to miss that, Archie. I want a goal too.
Camped out under that one for sure. Ooh, nasty skip off the tail of a top Blokes player. Is Demensa just going to let this one roll back? I love it. That's the great play. You're all out of position. Just buy yourself some extra time.
I mean, you say nice play to make up for it, but the weird skip, it's another weird kickoff from top Blokes. Team Queso, every time the ball is at its set piece position in the middle of the field, they're getting so much territory right from the off.
And you can't allow that either.
No.
Oh, no. Well, who cares? You might have had a weird kickoff, but you get one back here because not necessarily an errant touch from Demensa, but definitely lost a little bit of control and didn't have the boost to actually get back to it. So Archie just jumped over the top, put that one through, and just like that, you're all back at even.
Okay, but don't count any chickens just yet. Let's see if top Blokes can survive the first 5 seconds. They can. Are they going to score from it as well? No, they're not. VK Salen goes out wide. So we are at 3-all. Top Blokes did calm down. They didn't concede from a kickoff. Is everything back to normal now, dare we say?
I would hesitate to say that considering some of the goals that we've seen, but plenty of time left as Demensa may be in a 1-on-1, but again, it's just strapped for boost, forced to wait it out and play the challenge.
Oh, weird defending there from Queso. The ball just hit Atomic and just bounced right upwards. Thankfully for them, top Blokes are all the way back, but Archie is not all the way back this time. Somehow, Archie has scored 4, and I don't think he's playing that well.
Again, he just picks one off, though. Atomic misses, and I'm amazed because Archie jumped after he saw Atomic go over his head. I mean, I wonder what possesses him to think, no, he's not going to hit that, especially in that short of a time frame. So
Achieves, he realizes the type of game he is in. Never trust anything that any of these players are attempting right now, apart from Archie. Maybe he's playing better than I gave him credit for because the rest of these guys have just skewed my brain a little bit. But Archie's thinking, yeah, you're not going to score that. I'm going to score it. But wait a minute, Atomic down the other end. There's a bit of quality for Team Queso, showing what they're capable of.
Now that's clever. This is a great dribble. He doesn't have any boost, but look at him just fake that hard flick to the top corner, gets the defender to jump. That's all about car control there. You got to manage your speed, keep the ball trapped on the hood, and that fake flick was just pretty.
Yeah, we saw a goal earlier on from Chaussette where the commentary was no boost, no problem, and that was just as good as Chaussette's earlier. Demensa puts that one to the backboard. Flame is lingering underneath. Atomic's coming in. Oh my goodness, once again. Team Queso would almost turn this game completely on its head once more. Atomic's going to catch it and go to the center. He's got a flip reset as well. It's under one. Demensa comes in. Demensa hits the top corner. And what a finish that was.
And they tied Archie up in knots on the backboard. He sees Atomic taking the air dribble. He knows he's got to give a little space, but he doesn't want to do too much. And surprise, surprise, here comes Demensa. Poke one into the top left corner. He couldn't do anything about that. That was just such great control overall from Queso.
I know we're talking about the maths today, Cheese, but this is a 4+5, 9-goal game. 2 players on hat tricks. One of the weirder ones we'll see. Surely the others that we'll see in this semi-finals, although maybe I'm talking too quickly. Team Queso, one way or another, have the lead. They could double it here. VK Salen's coming in, and VK Salen takes us to double figures overall and gives Queso a 2-goal lead.
Casio, I don't understand why you go for that one with no boost. Well, I guess that's exactly why you go for it. You don't have any boost, so you can't afford to give them the space and just let them beat you on the goal line. But Top Blokes, you're right. Lose another kickoff, and you're also right on another point. It's been a long time, I think, since we've seen a real shootout like this where it's just bang, 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 doesn't stop.
I am very curious. The number of budding statisticians we have in the scene right now, how many 10-goal games we have seen. Could we see more? Demensa and Atomic, they combine to pinch that one away. Casio catches it up. Flame can't quite beat VK Salen. That might spell the end for the Top Blokes in this game, unless Archie gets something going quick.
Touch across, and 3 seconds that clear from VK Salen should clear things up, and Demensa nice enough to let it touch the floor, but you touched on it. I mean, they gave up 3 kickoff goals this game. What more do you need to say? They would have won if that didn't happen.
That's got to be the cons that they have, the words that they have to cheer them up here. Archie, another question for the statistician. I'm sorry I keep going to you guys. Archie got 917 points and lost. I have never seen anything like it, and understandably, Top Blokes are taking a timeout right now. They need to reset, because that was just weird.
You allow 3 kickoff goals, and you think about it, it's all has to do with something in the communication, right? And you find no clearer example of what that's looked like than in this previous match where they had that kickoff and they all converged right into the middle of the pitch, and then they all stopped. And then somebody from Team Queso just came over and bapped the ball over their heads, and it's like, okay, something's weird here in how we're talking to each other and about where we are and what we can do, because that should never be happening in an incredibly routine situation. I mean, just someone do something and get it out of the way, right?
Yeah, the most routine situation in all of Rocket League. A kickoff is something that all of these players will have done tens of thousands of times, right? Literally, the amount of hours that all of these players have. And somehow, something is going a little bit wrong. And maybe we're looking too much at what Top Blokes aren't doing very well and not enough on what Team Queso are doing very well. Because in the kickoffs, they've got a player cheating very closely. They're pushing forward. They're reading these mistakes. And again, credit to Team Queso. They are making the most of them as well, which is the hardest thing to do in the game.
And you said Archie scored 4, and picking apart the mistake, right? We'll probably see it here in the replay where he just kind of runs through and notices or expects Atomic to miss. Here's that kickoff goal where no one touched it. And, I mean, there's been a couple of nice goals like this one. That's a nice play from Atomic. But at the same time, I mean, you said Archie, yes, he's got 4 goals and he's not playing, like, particularly well, but he's not playing bad, right? It's just be aggressive. And that's really the Queso approach here in this series, it would seem so far, is send the one dude. If something good happens, hope someone has the boost, because right now Top Blokes are not really having that offensive pressure to continue to actually capitalize on us maybe potentially being out of position or having low boost. So I think it's totally fine if you're Team Queso and you just want to have someone just, turn into a massive ball chaser and just keep the pressure on Top Blokes that's struggling to communicate accurately.
yeah, it would be completely fair for Team Queso just to wait for some Top Blokes mistakes. So if they do tend to sit back a little bit more in this third game, I wouldn't be too surprised. Equally, it's Team Queso. They'll probably double up the attack and potentially give a goal or two away. But I think if ever they'll have confidence that they'll score goals at the other end, this would be that series and that game. So certainly some intriguing questions to be asked. And answered as well, particularly by the team in orange, Top Blokes, coming into this one as the favorites. Not playing like it so far. That one's onto the ceiling. Cassio's going to need to beat VK7, who actually waited really smartly for the ball for Cassio's touch. Comes to nothing, but good composure again from Team Queso.
Oh, man, a lot of space and the great passes and actually almost a little bit of misdirection. Ended up going to the man behind who it was intended for, it looked like, but still able to be tipped out to safety from Top Blokes as there's a nice bump from Cassio to throw Atomic crazy and forces Demensa to make the save coming out of the corner.
Flame and Atomic go for the 50-50, and Cassio is underneath. Atomic beats him somewhat, but it comes out towards VK Salem. Archie's coming in. It's the corner he goes now, but Demensa is just waiting there and has the boost. Look at that control from Demensa. He is playing brilliantly so far. And the control that he had in that corner to give himself a chance was stunning.
Ooh, and he's definitely been the main attack for sure in terms of trying to tie up a couple of defenders, and very patient as well here it would seem. Gives a little bit of extra space and is able to look. There's the control, but now he loses the ball. He doesn't have the boost. Oh no! I thought it was brilliant. It's like, look, this is a great trap here. You can bring the ball down with you, but you've only got 9 boost at that point. You hit it slightly too hard, and Archie again over the top, and that's a wash, rinse, repeat of the last game.
Yeah, it was a trap that you fell for, Achieves. I did too, but Archie did not. He could tell that Demensa's touch was just a little bit heavy, and he's made the most of it.
Unfortunate, because, oh, nice touch from Demensa is saved by Flame, if only just, but generally I'm a big fan of, trapping the ball close. There's another shot just wide of the mark for Team Queso. Atomic one more time, and Cassio to tip that out to the side.
Flame is Archie in the center here. Archie's pre-jumping. I don't really know why. He didn't have to, which meant his touch was poor, and Demensa is floating into the center. Good transition, though, from Top Blokes. They'll get themselves going. How they would love a little bit of daylight here. The demos are flying in. So's Archie, and Archie almost scores, but it's well saved by Demensa.
There was that demo on Cassio as well, and he just on the respawn is able to come back and force that ball all the way back to the blue half, and an excellent touch. Flame, a little bit of a pot shot towards the net, but Demensa was in an awkward position, just able to get the wheels on it, tip it out to safety, and in command, Top Blokes. Haven't seen much of this particular side of their game in this series, and we'll see how long this lasts.
Yeah, they're just prodding at Queso right now, backing them to make mistakes on this occasion. They're trying to play as solidly as possible, not doing anything too silly. And when you have shooting that good, you can take your time. It's Flame's goal, but Archie again with the finish.
I'm amazed he got all the way around that one to the back post. Not an easy shot to make, especially with 2 defenders in his face like that. He was forced to go it all the way around that and get it that far over. That was the only way that was ever going to happen. And Flame making a nice read with the bounce off the post to finish the job. 2-0 up for Top Blokes.
This is looking yet again like a wonderful advert for the tactical timeout. Top Blokes suddenly are playing with a little bit of composure. And as I say that, Flame misses an open goal.
As if on cue.
Yep. Demensa onto the ceiling. Atomic's there. Oh, wow. They attack so quickly.
This was, I didn't particularly like the double commit approach, but it does throw Flame off the scent. And Cassio is just one step too slow to cover up Atomic, who's just parked on the other end of the pitch, is able to capitalize on it.
If you're in this game, how do you make comms when 2 of them are going from different angles? How do you say who to cover and when? They're going again. Demensa's over the top, but a little bit too far back this time. Queso are making this one fun at the very least.
Can never doubt controlled chaos. Sam is a particularly adept region in that particular regard. And they provide some incredibly exciting games to watch. Demensa to Atomic and slows it down. Doesn't quite get the angle he wanted. Overshot it. And 1:30 on the clock. Team Queso needs something.
Me too. This could be it. A dunk on Archie, who almost fell in for the Demensa trap, but Cassio can take it away. He's got no boost. All of Top Blokes a little bit starved, so Cassio will be very happy indeed to get that 100. You can Flame get an attack going, or will this just be a case of Top Blokes buying themselves some boost and buying themselves some time and going back to defense? It's looking like that one. As Flame clears long, Atomic into the center. 1 minute left in case we need a goal.
Team Queso doing a nice job trying to control all the boosts, though. They don't want to give any extended clears, but that one dangerously across his own net. Cassio was waiting for it. Able to save the day, though, and Archie, nice stiff wall set up in the midfield line to waste some more precious time off the clock.
Yeah, it was a great reflex save there from Atomic. I thought for sure we were going to see 3-1 and game pretty much over, but not to be. And Team Queso will come back, certainly more than capable of putting themselves 3-0 up in the series, but it's going to get harder if this goes in, but it doesn't because Demensa somehow, another save. Now Atomic over the top of Archie, but Archie's touch takes it safe.
Oh, what a touch from Demensa down from VK Sailing. He's too slow, though. He gave Casio time to close the gap. Archie on the dribble is just trying to waste some time. Flame gets an awkward touch, and Casio again on his lonesome to buy those extra moments on defense, and it looks like he will have done his job. Well, Demensa trying to skim that ball off the side of the Dominus, just missed it.
Yeah, he wanted the lightest touch he'd ever got, but they keep on coming. That's the touch that he wanted earlier. He gets it on the second occasion. There's 3 more seconds left. Can his team get anything? Casio dunks it. Casio dunks it very well indeed, and Top Blokes do take game 3.
You said it, timeout paying dividends for Top Blokes. Looking a lot better here in game 3, but Queso, try as they might. It was an exciting game for a lot of different reasons, if not the 10-goal affair that we had in our previous game.
Yeah, it was nervy finishing at the end there from Top Blokes, but the difference maker was Archie with the shot that set up Flame for the second goal, which ended up being decisive.
Great game overall, though, from Top Blokes. It's good to see that get ironed out a lot in the communication side. In fact, I believe they take the lead here in terms of the shot differential. Only just 7. That's 9-7. There we go. I'm getting better at my maths.
You are.
So Top Blokes able to at least figure something out. And actually, they did keep a little bit more pressure for longer over on that blue side, which is definitely something they struggled with early on in the series. And that's really all you can ask for instead of allowing, 22 in game 1 and having to make save after save. So Top Blokes definitely seem to have found some kind of answer. And even if it is only maybe Demensa makes an errant touch here or there.
Yeah, I think that's the way Top Blokes can see out this series. If they just play with patience, and they'll be aware that occasionally the Top Blokes shock factor will lead to a goal like we saw in the last game, but for the most part, they're going to start getting some free goals. Here's one for Flame, but he's missed again. Can this man stop making me look silly?
I think VK Sailing might have got a piece of Flame there. Tough to say without a replay, but either way, I'm pretty sure if he was uncontested, that was for dead certain a goal, but Archie popped one into the middle, nobody home, and Casio, all the time in the world, and surprisingly strong touch for being under no pressure.
You've made me feel a lot better by saying that there was a little bump on Flame there. I apologize, Flame, if I got that one wrong. He's going again now. Casio towards Archie. Casio's on the wall, but it is Flame that goes into the corner. Long again, gets a wave dash and a boost grab. Just a little bit of pressure on Demensa, but Demensa is so good at cycling those dribbles together. He set up VK Sailing for a double, but Flame saves, and then Archie does as well. Great defense from Top Blokes, but look how quickly Queso form an attack.
That's exactly it. That was such a beautiful counterattack from Team Queso, and it did require some perfect defense, and it isn't! Flame! What a shot from his own half.
The Flame Thrower. It's like he can hear me. I called him out for an open goal miss earlier, and he says, no, Cole, I am accurate. This is how accurate. 1-0 Top Blokes.
Yeah, how's that for an open goal? Just punt one off the ceiling, and ding, ding. No one can do anything about it.
Everything is open if you're good enough at Jeeves.
It's brilliant.
Demensa touches down. Oh, Casio was almost in. It was good defending in the end from Team Queso. Flame onto the backboard, sent away by Atomic. The Vultures are circling from Top Blokes. They want a second one, and they feel it coming, growing into this series ever more. This could be their chance to equalize it here and now, but Atomic's touch almost gets it past Flame. And there's a chance for Team Queso to get something going.
Well, he's looking for Demensa, but he couldn't figure out how he wanted to get it there. VK Sailing, I think, cycling through all the options in his head, eventually just couldn't find one that would work. So they have to work their way out of their own half. And again, Demensa's got the command, and Atomic will finish the job. And you've been talking about how quick their counterattacks come. Well, this is 1, 2, and 3 touches into the net.
Demensa is quickly becoming one of my favorite players, and it is his ability, as you say, achieves, to transition defense into attack. He just flicks it so perfectly past the onrushing attacker to set up his team, and it was his work. He got the goal.
Playing a dangerous game with the Dominus as well. It's very easy to get out of control with your touches in there, but like you said, excellent command as VK Sailing, hoping that one would find its way past Casio, and no dice.
Yeah, Demensa goes again to the ceiling this time. Casio is the recipient. He tries to dunk on Atomic, but a demo comes in from Demensa on Flame. Oh, Demensa tried to push that one back behind Archie. It just brushed Archie's car. I think if it hadn't, that could well have been a Queso goal.
Ooh, not done yet, though. Atomic, oh, he needs boost. I think they had a chance there, but decided that the resources were what were important. He beats one. It's a slow play. They've got the movement. Archie can't stop it. Oh, he tried so hard, had such great composure on the line, but there's only so much he could do.
It was the flip reset fake from Atomic as well that set it all up, and credit to VK Salen. He saw it coming from a mile away, left his position, and just tried to bully Archie, and just about got that goal.
Ooh, Casio on the kickoff, errant flick, undercuts the ball and could have got him right back into it. Flame to deflect.
So he's going to follow this one. He's got 3 Queso players in front of him, so just sets up Flame to go along and try and build Top Blokes some territory down into the blue half of the pitch, because once again, they are staring down the barrel of a few match points. It could be even worse here if VK Salen beats Casio to this race. He can't. And they're both hoping that middle boost was spawning. It didn't, but there was, I believe, a Queso player that got it in the end. So Queso should be okay to defend this one for a little while. The Top Blokes are just looking to regain a bit of the control of this one, because once again they had it, and Achieves, I feel like in every single game they have had control at periods. But they keep letting it slip, keep giving away counter-attacking goals, and then having to chase.
But at the same time, on the other side of that coin, there is still actually a surprising amount of time left. There's a great tip out to Flame, and he's fighting against Salen, and no, he takes it away from Casio. He tried to finish it despite being under pressure, and oh, Cole, if that's not the perfect descriptor of what you were just talking about, I don't know what is.
It is so agonizing as well. This is when you get frustrated that your car only has 4 wheels. It can't hit the ball sideways. You have to come on the side to it. If the angle's not there, the angle isn't there, but Top Blokes will keep coming. A bump on VK Salen from Archie. Flames coming in, but Demensa, who else but Demensa, dribbles it away to relieve all of that pressure and force Top Blokes to have to come again.
Casio with that miss as well opens the door one more time, and here he comes. Demensa straight towards the middle of the net. Archie already there for it, but VK Salen up for the second chance and again cleared away. Top Blokes, I just was talking about how much time I felt there was despite how hectic this game has been, and just like that, we're already at 30 seconds left.
Casio's going to try and dunk out Atomic. It's going towards the goal, but VK Salen will get there in time to pinch it to the side and set up Atomic again. What a transition from Queso. Flame's going to have this read, but pretty low on boost. He does get the 100, but the shot's coming in from Atomic. Snap, crackle, and Atomic scores.
And he sniped that one. A great shot here, just seeing if Archie actually had a touch. As soon as he realized he didn't, just went full bore for it. He let fly. 2-goal lead, 18 seconds. Queso gotta be feeling good about the chances here.
I'm looking at my notes, and Top Blokes did take the lead in game number 2, the 10-goal game. So this will be at least the second time Queso have turned the game around in order to win it. It was like unrolling a scroll, seeing how many goals there were in that one. I think the Team Queso are going to have enough to see this one away. Top Blokes are trying desperately to get it forward, but it's just not happening, Achieves. This is more the Top Blokes that we've seen that's been low in form, where there are flashes of what they can do, of why we all fell in love with them, but the faster, nippier teams just ending up beating them.
They got the head in the hands, too. There's some real distress over on that Top Bloke side, because that's 2 games now, like you said, that first 10-goal game where they just, you know, they took the lead and they forced Queso back. And I think even in that first one, they were up 1-0, I thought. And then Queso put in bang, bang, and ended up taking that one away pretty late. And if that's what's happening, you're kind of scratching your head as Top Blokes, and you're like, we're playing well, but not well enough to actually score a goal. And the pinnacle of that example was Flame doing all the work. Like, he gets this shot. There was a couple of great blocks, and under pressure, he misses a couple of nets that he probably should score in any other situation for any number of reasons. But the real one that sticks in your mind is where he took that free shot away from his teammate, and then they transitioned it into a goal, and it's like, oh, man.
And it's so devastating as well, because the shooting from Team Queso is up there with anything we've seen for a very long time as well. The accuracy they're all showing. Demensa's dribbles from defense are always scary, and it's forcing the Top Bloke's third man back so far. Because if you get it wrong remotely, then they are going to punish you time and time again. And then you put your third man back, and you got no pressure. And suddenly, Team Queso love playing against a team that has no pressure. So, as you say, scratching their heads, how do we fix this conundrum?
How do you fix it? Ooh, for one, just keep putting shots like that on target, and two, you got to find a way to get that first man on the challenge on the ball, because Demensa's getting through people, Atomic and VK Salen are getting through people, at least always finding a way past that first initial challenge. If top Blokes start getting their hands on it, I think could see things turn around rather quickly as that one takes its detour off the wall.
Even though there were two of them that went for it. It was Atomic and VK Salen. They don't care. If they want to double commit to get the goal, they will double commit to get the goal. But here's a single commit. It's VK Salen to the backboard. It's well read by Casio. And he gets the linking touch as well. And the 100 boost. This could turn into some danger for top Blokes. He's got Archie in the center. He tries to find him. But Archie turns it away because VK Salen was coming in.
Crazy pinch there from Flame to try and keep things going on offense for them. Demensa again able to just get by one person, and top Blokes still threatening here out of the corner, but you really got to wonder if they have enough people in position to fight this ball out and get a pass into the middle.
It might be a little bit boosted up as well now, because top Blokes are doing what they normally do at least once per game and keeping a lot of control. But that could be the linking pass towards VK Salen. There's a miss from Archie. Flame was there, and Flame's going to set up Archie. Archie shoots, and Archie finds the net.
I did not think this one was going to find its way all the way in from where he shot it from. This was kind of just a see what happens moment. And actually, I think if Atomic continued on his line, instead of cutting across there and leaving that near post shot for Demensa, they probably saved that. I'm thinking Atomic said he had no boost, and that was the only corner that had boost.
By my count, Archie's 7th goal in this series, but who's counting? VK Salen has got a few of his own as well, and it's an instant response from him.
Nice play from Queso to get it right back, and just a quality challenge from Demensa. Takes a favorable skip out into the middle, and VK Salen, like you said, just in time to get that ball out in front of the defender. Tie it up, 3:24. Tense one for top Blokes, as if it would be any other way.
Yeah, it can't be in this series. They can't stop concentrating for an instant. Another lead lost as well.
Yeah.
Yet again, they scored the first goal, and Team Queso come right back in this instance. Not quite a kickoff goal, but still from the pressure that resulted from that kickoff, and definitely something to fix for top Blokes. VK Salen's coming up. Archie needs to fix this situation. Yeah, VK Salen's going for it, so Archie pulls out. The mind games from both players, beautiful.
And not done yet. Pass in front. Casio able to find a touch out to Archie, and actually nobody there. Double commit from Queso. This has to go in for Flame, and unfortunately he just can't find the right side of the net. Actually very well covered up by Team Queso, despite the poor situation they found themselves in.
Yeah, things starting to get a little bit desperate for top Blokes. They need this next goal. They are staring down the barrel here. This could be Demensa saves. Casio comes in, and goodness me, did top Blokes need that.
Casio might have scored this, but look at this read from Archie. This is nuts. And he just stuck it right on the line. Try it all you can, Demensa. You weren't stopping that train.
Archie, he seems to be Team Queso's kryptonite. Top Blokes, they're struggling a lot against him, but this man, he just is causing so many goals for his team. He's reading everything Team Queso are doing. He's reading the unreadable achieves, and I don't know how he's doing it.
It's sick. That was an awesome read off that sick bounce straight down. Didn't lose control over it either, but this is a situation we have found ourselves in many times in this series. And Team Queso have tended to find their way out one way or another, and here's Demensa once more towards the line. VK Salen actually overdoes it. Atomic, thankfully, does not have a free look. Flame was just able to get back to it.
Archie's 50-50 is as high as Demensa. VK Salen is to his left. He will be the target. VK Salen shoots, but actually...
Oh, you're kidding!
Oh, I was going to say it wasn't the right decision, but that is a terrible mistake in defense.
This is rough. I mean, Casio thinks Flame has it. Flame thinks Casio has it. Nobody touches the ball. It's the repeat of game 2. That's brutal.
That sucks the energy out of these top Blokes comms. It has to. Two of them should have cleared that away. Demensa can't believe his luck, but only top Blokes goal, especially from a Queso mistake, could just undo all that damage. Not quite, but good recovery from top Blokes.
Good recovery, and they're not done. Archie, actually a pretty well-placed touch to himself. He wants Casio. VK Salen able to break it up. And coming up on 90 seconds left, gotta find some way through the fire if you're top Blokes here.
Last time these two played, or at least the most famous time they've played, it was that Game 7 overtime, which was won by the top Blokes. So They've taken this series all the way before, but I feel like Team Queso will be so confident right now that they will have their revenge as Atomic gets another attack going towards Archie. VK Salen's up. Demensa is just camping the boost. Look at the lack of respect. He's waiting for that 100. Knows that as soon as he gets it, he's going to use it. But oh my god, he's actually missed it. It's backfired horrifically for Demensa, but no goal against them for Team Queso.
Well done, Atomic and VK Salen to get out of a very... Oh my gosh, this is an even worse spot. Demensa tips it back to Archie. Demensa just in time. Oh my gosh.
I feel like I'm casting one of the smartest men in Rocket League, and yet we're witnessing the most chaotic game I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, no!
Again! Oh my goodness! Here comes Flame. Who knows what's going to happen next? VK Salem puts it into the center. Atomic flicks it along. Archie loses the attack. Breathe, everybody, breathe.
Catch a well-deserved breath and once more into it. VK Salen able to cut Casio down in the midfield. 20 seconds left. I think everyone wants an overtime just to reset with a kickoff. And Flame gonna punt that wall towards that wall, and we probably, I think, do find ourselves into overtime here.
Oh, you say that though, but who knows with Atomic there. Flame puts it out to the center. Demensa has to score. Demensa somehow doesn't, but VK Salen does. They didn't want the first shot. They said no. VK Salen wants to get it.
Oh, it's another double commit on the goal line, and Archie's thinking, oh, thank goodness, that shot's high, but there's a third one coming through. Salen drills it under the bar and puts Top Blokes in the worst position.
3 seconds until Team Queso bring chaos to the European region. The race for the top 6 has never been this open. They've not done it yet, but what a touch from Demensa. A champion's performance from the Spaniard. Team Queso win it here. They're in the final. Everything is chaos and weird. I don't know what else to say at this point.
What a series. Team Queso get their first win over Top Blokes. It's been getting closer and closer. Game 6s, Game 7s, but here, Queso only needs 5 to knock off Top Blokes. And could it be Top Blokes weren't playing as well as they played early in the day? Perhaps. But you must give credit where it is due. The transition game was on point. The mechanics and the execution on a lot of these fake plays and tough shots that were required from Queso to beat the Top Blokes defense is impeccable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant, brilliant performance from Team Queso. It's a very Team Queso-y performance. You know, they didn't hold any punches. They threw 3 men at every single ball, but they just made Top Blokes look so shaky throughout that whole thing.
It was awesome to watch, though, and unfortunately a heartbreak for Top Blokes as well, because they were playing so well just to get to this point, but communication breakdown, they threw away a couple of games that they probably felt like they could have won, and ultimately it means their demise. But we're not done yet. We've got one more semifinals coming up here in RLCSX in the spring split. It's going to be Solary versus White Demons. Come back in a couple minutes, find out who is going to play against Team Queso in the grand finals.